Hello everyone, welcome to Amrita IS monthly current affairs series, and we'll be starting the May month first session of Science and Tech. Right? Let us start. First is Placid trial. Placid trial, that is a trial started by the ICMR for the plasma therapy. So plasma therapy, last time we have read very brief idea that plasma therapy is the passive way of providing the immunity. Nothing more is required. So already created antibodies are inserted into the body to limit to fight against the COVID virus. Okay, coronavirus I should say. So clinical trial for Placid phase 2 open label randomized controlled trial to assess the safety and efficacy of this plasma therapy. In fact, that's been going on many of the hospitals. So this is the promise of the plasma therapy, that is a form of the passive immunity. So that there we have discussed the difference between active versus the passive immunity, right? And how passive immunity is faster as compared to the active immunity that is built up through the production of the antibodies in our body, right? So they are called ready-made antibodies. Next is LISA procedure. So LISA procedure is full form is less invasive surfactant administration. Not very important, but it was mentioned in the newspaper. So LISA procedure currently being adopted in Jaipur for lung protective surgery for newborns. So if they have some infections in the lung, so for their surgery is known as the LISA procedure. Okay, so a recent medical technique known as the less invasive surfactant administration, LISA, started in Jaipur. One thing I would like to tell you that in the June month or July month somewhere I'll discuss this RT-PCR, an antibody test, because this can come in the examination. I want to discuss in the May month only, but that's not a case. Let us see in June and July month we'll discuss RT-PCR, and the alternative to RT-PCR has also come, that is LAMP PCR, right? So we'll discuss that. So what is the difference between PCR? What is the process of PCR? RNA, DNA, these small things we will discuss. Then National Biomedical Resource Indigenization Consortium, that is NBRIC. That is National Biomedical Resource Indigenization Consortium. So this is being constituted by Department of Biotechnology as a public-private partnership, PPP partnership. The idea is to focus on the innovative solutions to develop this diagnostic techniques, vaccine and therapeutics for the COVID-19. So you can say an institutional mechanism. It will be within the parameters of the CCAMP, that is Center for Cellular and Molecular Platforms. Okay, so it's a Make in India initiative for biomedical research and innovative products. So this is that. So DBT has floated is NBRIC to drive the focus indigenous innovation. It will be based out of the CCAMP. Okay. The next is Operation Rap Speed. This question can really come because that's very important. That's a USA's operation. You can say USA's PPP partnership announced by Mr. Trump to facilitate and accelerate the development, manufacturing not only of vaccines but also of the therapeutics, diagnostic techniques, so that more better outcomes of the diagnostic can come. You must have heard of the statement of the Bill Gates. He also says that the tests that are being done in the USA, they have tested around 25% of their population as we record this session. Around 25%, just below 25% of the population is being tested. That's a very good figure. So Bill Gates has said that the diagnostic we are doing, it is not worth, it's not useful because the results are coming in it's taking time to get the proper results in. And in that time, that person has infected a lot of people. So we have to invest a lot in the diagnostics as well. So Operation Rap Speed, they have focused on some of the vaccines. And then vaccines are also under the question by the Senate, and that's not important for us. What is important for us is the name Rap Speed. Okay, announced by the Trump administration. Next is One Health approach. Very significant. So it's not a new approach actually, but again it has come into focus because when you'll understand. So what is One Health basically? One Health is inclusive of people, animals and plants. Okay, so achieving the optimum health outcomes, recognizing the interconnections between the people, animal and the plants and their shared environment. And this is really significant, especially the time when the zoonotic diseases, that are transferred from animal to people are significant. What is this coronavirus? Coronavirus was also formed, or was also transferred from animal to people, isn't it? Firstly in for example SARS-CoV, firstly in bats, then in the people. Similarly this also, though the hosts are not really recognized from where they transferred from human to people, right? So the interconnection between all these three components is very very critical to understand. For example, dealing with other pandemic, I should say. So the One Health was first used in 2003 and 4 in the time of the SARS, in the first one. Okay, and subsequently spread of the highly pathogenic avian influenza H1N1, H5N1 if we talk about, right? And by the series of strategic goals called Manhattan Principles. So they also, these Manhattan Principles also talk about One Health approach. So in that they talk about this coordination, communication and collaboration. In fact, this question in the main exam as well can come with respect to the One Health approach. What is the significance of the One Health approach in this current times? So you have to talk about the other approaches. Those were the non-inclusive approaches, in which we have to we see these as different. So animal is different, man is different, plants are different. But now the inclusive approach has to be done, and that is through One Health approach. Okay, so focused on the rearing practices to avoid animal to, just one second, focused on the rearing practices to avoid human to animal transmission, right? In view of the large number of zoonotic disease affecting humans. Okay, next is Z-scan method. So from here on, from like subsequent topics, we'll discuss about Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, and very briefly what is the difference between Alzheimer's and dementia. You must have heard of these names, not more in India but in foreign countries. Okay, so these diseases are more prone for the elderly ages, right? And the causes of these diseases are not known to the very precise yet. Okay, but these are very important from exam perspective. First is Z-scan method. So this is a tool being developed by IIT Dhanbad, that is ISM Dhanbad earlier, and CSIR and Indian Institute of Chemical Biology within the CSIR, Kolkata. So what they have developed? They have developed a Z-scan method to monitor the origin and the progression of the Parkinson's disease in the human being. We'll discuss that. Okay, so they expected to monitor both early and the later stages of the death of the neuron cells. So what is Parkinson's disease? First of all, Parkinson's disease is a brain disorder that mainly affects our movement. Mainly also affects our cognitive component, but also majorly affects our movement. So difficulty in walking, then you can see talking as well. They may also have, as we have discussed, mental and the behavioral changes such as sleep problem, depression, memory difficulties and fatigue. Both men and women have the Parkinson's disease. Okay, so can have Parkinson's disease, so I should say. So it's a brain disorder. So what is the cause? So Parkinson's happen when the nerve cells, called the neurons in our brain. When we're discussing the artificial neural network, I have just given you the mention that in the brains there are neurons that controls the movement to become impaired. So what it is? Our neurons dry basically. Okay, so neurons produce a brain chemical known as dopamine. I hope you have read this word dopamine. Many times the dopamine come into being. Why our attention span is slow. That is also attributed to this dopamine, isn't it? So when the neurons die or impaired, they produce less dopamine. So when less dopamine are produced, then the movement problems come, and that is known as Parkinson's disease. And when the cells die, they produce the dopamine to die. Okay, so one of the risk factor is age. Most people with Parkinson's first develop the disease around the age of 60. Okay, so this is Parkinson's disease. Then we have the preventive method for Alzheimer's. So what with respect to Parkinson's disease? With respect to Parkinson's disease, what we have learned, that is Z-scan method. So Z-scan method is for the onset and the progression of the Parkinson's disease. Next is Alzheimer's disease. So why it is in the news? Because IIT Guwahati has found a method for preventing the accumulation of the neurotoxic molecules in the brain which lead to the Alzheimer's disease. So why the Alzheimer disease is caused? Again, not specific reasons are known, but accumulation of certain peptides, some neurotoxic molecules in our brain, it leads to the progression of the Alzheimer disease. Let us see here. What is Alzheimer's? Alzheimer's is a disease, progressive disorder that causes the brain cells to waste away or degenerate and die. It is also the main cause of dementia. So Alzheimer leads to dementia. So dementia is a umbrella term. Alzheimer is one of the causes of the dementia. So causes being, scientists believe that most people Alzheimer disease caused by the combination of the genetic, lifestyle and environmental factor that affect brain over time. Exact causes of the Alzheimer's, we still do not know that what are the exact causes of the Alzheimer disease. Okay, so coming back to the topic. So what is this preventive method that has been started by diagnosed by IIT Guwahati? So they say that this accumulation of these peptides which leads to Alzheimer's, what we will do? We will place some Trojan peptides. So these Trojan peptides, what they will do? These Trojan peptides will do not the accumulation part, they will do just the opposite part. So they will not lead to the accumulation of these toxic neurotoxins. Okay, and when it does not lead to these neurotoxins, it can be a reversal in the progress of the Alzheimer's. India has the highest number of Alzheimer patients after China and USA. In USA, a lot of people die due to Alzheimer's, mainly because of the diagnosis, I'll say. Because in India, many people may have Alzheimer's, but they do not get it, but they not get diagnosed. So IIT Guwahati research discovers new way of preventing the memory loss due to the Alzheimer's disease. So just the comparison between Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. So mainly you see primary symptoms. In Parkinson's, we have seen mainly the motor disorder. Here there is dementia, there is cognitive, there is behavioral and psychiatric. If you see the number of people affected, you can see Alzheimer's, more people are affected. In USA, you can see around 5 more number of cases. And this is being the general difference between both of them. Then dementia versus the Alzheimer's. Here you can see Alzheimer is a type of dementia. So Alzheimer leads to dementia. Alzheimer is the cause of dementia. So dementia is a general term for symptoms like decline in memory, reasoning and thinking skills. Whereas Alzheimer is the specific brain disease, though it causes the 60 to 80% of the cases of the dementia. Okay. One important difference is that dementia is temporary and reversible, whereas Alzheimer is said to be terminal. Very less cases of reversibility are there. Okay, I hope you can now see the difference. If the question will come on these things, the question will be very easy, but some sort of knowledge you must have to decipher this question. Okay, I hope this serves the purpose. Then next is banana COVID. Very interesting. So just like the COVID-19, which is affecting us all being a pandemic, a COVID-like symptoms, or I should say a disease in the banana, that is a new fungal strain, that is Fusarium wilt TR4. Okay, it is also called race TR4. So equivalent of the COVID-19 in banana. So it is been spreading, first been found in Taiwan and now in Bihar and UP it is being found. Okay, so it started infecting plantations in India as well, which is earlier found in other countries. For example, it is called tropical race 4, first identified in Taiwan, then jumped from Asia to Middle East to Africa, reaching as far as the Latin America. So same characteristics as the corona, that is COVID-19. So this question can come, this is a banana COVID hits the plantation. And around $26 billion of banana trade is being affected. So a lot of economical damage as well. So it is first damage, this is race 4, first identified in Taiwan, then has moved from Asia to Middle East, that's the main discussed. Cripples the plantation by first attacking the leaves which turn yellow, you can see turning yellow. And then FAO has also called it the most destructive of all the plant disease. Okay, so if the question comes TR4 or race 4 or COVID banana, so all these things are same. Next is Swasth Vayu. So it is a ventilator. Okay, so it's a ventilator, bi-level positive airway pressure. It is not for the critical cases of corona. Okay, it is for the non-critical, non-ICU cases of COVID-19. Now in the COVID-19, as we have discussed a lot, and you must have know a lot because everywhere the discussion is with respect to it. Not all the patients are, they need ventilator. only those where the oxygen level dries down, where they have other comorbidities, then only the problem come. Okay, so for them this ventilator is being developed, Swasth Vayu, by the National Aerospace Laboratory in Bangalore. So National Aerospace Laboratory developed a non-invasive ventilator, that is Swasth Vayu. Next is Flavipiravir antiviral tablets. So antiviral tablets for corona, to fight against the corona only. They have demonstrated against like trials are going whether they can be effective for corona also. So they have demonstrated their activity against the influenza virus, and now the trials are going on whether this Favipiravir can be used for the COVID-19 patients as well. They have made it under the brand name of FabiFlu. Not very important, I'll say, but still you need to know that they were used for the influenza. Now the trial is going for the COVID-19. As similarly, just like we have seen BCG vaccine for TB being used for the corona. Then we have UV blaster, UV disinfection towers. So the idea is to disinfection of a large place by this. Okay, so DRDO has developed an ultraviolet disinfection tower for rapid and chemical free disinfection of the large space. Okay, so this electronic equipment, computer can be disinfected by it. Okay, so you can see, you can get an idea. So a 6 lamp each of 43 watt with this for a room of 12 into 12 feet, it can disinfect in about 10 minutes. So this is the power of this UV sanitizer, UV disinfection, or you could UV blaster, you can say, developed by DRDO. Next is Down syndrome. So Down syndrome is basically a genetic disorder. It is produced because of the abnormal cell division. Okay, why it is in the news, we'll discuss. So let's first see what is Down syndrome. So Down syndrome is caused by we have 23 pairs of chromosome, right? Total 46. But in Down syndrome, we have an additional chromosome in the 21st chromosome. So we have 3 chromosomes here. So total chromosome becomes 47. And that causes all the abnormalities that are known as the Down syndrome. Okay, so such as distinct facial appearance, intellectual disability, developmental delays, thyroid or heart disease. These are the symptoms of this disorder, Down syndrome. So it was in the news because a woman was a fetus was seen with the Down syndrome complication, but the High Court has rejected the resident's plea for termination of the pregnancy. Okay, that is related to the this maternity termination bill that is also pending in the parliament, right? So more details with respect to that we'll discuss later. So right, so she wanted her pregnancy to be terminated when they pass a certain period. Before this period you can get your fetus aboard, but after it you have to seek the permission of the authorities, and she did not get the permission from the High Court. Okay, MTP bill it is called. I'm just forgetting the name, but I'll get back to it. Next is DSR technique. So what is the DSR technique? That is direct seeding of the rice technique. So how the rice basically is being done, that is transplanting. So farmers first prepare the nurseries where the small paddy seeds are sown. They make a young plant. Young plants are made. Then these young plants are raised into the field. Right? In DSR, nothing is done. There is no nursery, no transplantation. The seeds are directly drilled into the field by the tractor-powered machine. Okay. So in the transplanting technique, a lot of labor is required. Okay. While in the direct seeding of the rice, a lot of labor is not required. So it is less time consuming, labor intensive, and less time consuming and less labor intensive. It is also called as the tar water DSR. So remember this name as well. It is developed and successfully tested on a good scale at the farmer field. It helps in saving the irrigation water. There is lesser weed problem, induced incidents of the nutrient deficiency. Okay, so these are the problems that can be solved with the DSR, and that is being seen majorly with in the Punjab, where because a lot of people had went back to their home, a lot of labor. When they went back to their home, so the farmers are now adopting for this DSR, and it is causing a lot of groundwater savings as well, so that's good as well. No, there are some shortcomings of the DSR as well, but majorly you can see pros are more than the cons. Next is spirulina. So what is this? It's a cyanobacteria that's been consumed by both animals and the humans. Okay, so it is worldwide seen as a dietary supplement or the whole food or a feed supplement in the aquaculture, so for both animal and the people. It is currently in the news because the Center for Food Technological Research Institute has developed spirulina nut candy, so some sort of candy that can provide the micronutrients and immunity to the people during this pandemic. So made up of this spirulina. If you see the health benefits of this, so detox heavy metals, eliminates candida, improves HIV, AIDS, helps in prevent cancer, and lot of good things. Okay, so providing immunity to the people. Last topic, that is alternative dwarfing genes of the wheat. So these wheat genes name is important, RT14 and RT18, RTH18 and RTH14. So basically what is being done after the rice crop, they have to do the wheat crop and they have to burn these rice residue, right? And this is called the stubble burning, due to which a lot of pollution problem that are being there. So what they have discovered is, so this wheat, if you can plant this wheat without burning this rice residue, and this is being done. Okay, so this is seen as a solution, one of the solutions to the stubble burning, that can reduce the stubble burning, so that they don't have to burn their crop residue. They can go for the plantation of the wheat. So the scientists at Pune based Agrahar Research Institute, ARI, have mapped two alternative dwarfing genes, that is RTH14 and RTH18 in the wheat, that can help in reducing the ice crop residue burning, that is stubble burning. It's an autonomous institute under the Department of Science and Tech. Okay, so you can see around 23 millions of tons of leftover rice residues are burned, and these things can help to reduce it. In fact, the PIB says can eliminate this rice crop burning. So very important species in that sense, because stubble burning is a really important cause of pollution in Delhi in the winters and the other NCR areas. So that's the end of session. Let us quickly revise what we have done. We started with the PLACID trial. So PLACID trial are for the plasma therapy trial. Okay, then LISA procedure, not very important, for the lung infection in the newborn. Then National Biomedical Resource Indigenization Consortium and BRIC been floated by the government, which will work under the Center for Cellular and Molecular Platform. Then Operation Warp Speed, very important for the USA, working on this corona thing. Then One Health approach, that is with respect to the integration of the animal, plant and human. Okay, so that to understand that these diseases, these pandemic, these zoonotic diseases that are coming, so as to reduce their occurrence. Then Z-scan method for Parkinson's disease. Then we have seen Alzheimer's. We have discussed the difference between Parkinson's and Alzheimer from very layman perspective. Then versus the dementia versus the Alzheimer. Then banana COVID we have seen. Very important, banana COVID also. Then Swasth Vayu, a ventilator. Then Favipiravir antiviral tablets. Then UV blaster, Down syndrome. One of the additional chromosomes is there in the 21st chromosome. Then DSR technique, direct seeding of rice. Then spirulina, and finally alternative dwarfing genes of the wheat, RH14 and RH18. Okay, so with this we finish this session. So we are done with the May month part 1. Sorry, this is May month part 1, not part 2. We will discuss the part 2 in the coming session. Okay, thank you everyone. Bye bye for now.